Today, we're going to quickly cover the results from yesterday's primary on March 3rd. The results are still coming in, so it might be different by the time you watch the video. We did do a nice stream yesterday, thanks to those of you that stopped by. So we've got 3 states, but most of the action was in Texas. So the main event was the U.S. Senate. First for the Republicans. As expected, it is headed to a runoff between incumbent John Cornyn and challenger Ken Paxton. Right now, Cornyn is at 42, Paxton is right behind. And you can see the county map here on the right is kind of mixed. But Wesley Hunt only got 13%. So going into this, it seemed like Paxton might have been stronger than just 40.9%. So Cornyn might not be done yet after all. Let's go down here and take a look at the Dems. Here, James Tallarico has it with 53.1%. Crockett is at 45.6%. In her home county of Dallas, she's at 60%. That's not enough to get her over the finish line. So Tallarico, the seemingly more electable candidate, is going to face either Cornyn or Paxton. He's going to have time to get out there, introduce himself to voters, while those two have to battle it out. They're both going to be hoping for that Trump endorsement. So that runoff is going to be in late May. Now, one other thing that did come up was a judge did order the polling in Dallas County to stay open longer, but the Texas Supreme Court overruled it. So apparently the ballots that were already cast in between that span are going to be set aside. It's unclear what's going to happen, but that could affect Crockett's final total. And if you're looking for what the prediction markets are showing between Paxton and Cornyn, it's pretty much dead even as of the time I'm making this video. It's a pure coin flip, anything could happen, but this could change in a hurry. Now let's quickly go through some of the other races. We can't go over everything, but there's also a big race here for governor. But the action here was much more under the radar. Greg Abbott easily wins nomination as he goes for a 4th term. For the Democrats, he's going to face Gina Hinojosa. She got it done with about 60%. Abbott is going to be favored, but it's not impossible there could be an upset. In the 2nd Congressional District, incumbent Republican Dan Crenshaw, he got knocked out to Steve Toth, and it wasn't even close. Now, given most of these districts are not at all competitive, the Republican here is very likely to prevail in the general election. About in the 18th district for the Dems, brand new Congressman Christian Menefee is facing off against incumbent Democrat Al Green in this newly redrawn district. And it looks like nobody is going to hit 50% here, so this could be an interesting battle, but it's very, very close right now. Menefee is only ahead by about a half a point. Still some vote to count, but that's a great race to watch. Then, the 23rd for the Republicans, it's a rematch here. We've got Brandon Herrera trying to take out incumbent Tony Gonzalez. This one is even closer, less than 100 votes separating the two with 78% in. This is a huge district that covers the southern border. So clearly nobody going to hit 50% there. And for the Dems, they've got just a little bit less than the Republicans in total vote here. Some people put a lot of weight on which party has more votes in the primary. I generally think it doesn't matter that much, but Dems have had a lot of turnout here, so keep that in mind. In the 33rd for the Dems, we've got Colin Allred. Remember him? He was already in the U.S. House. He lost to Ted Cruz in 24. He's leading against incumbent Democrat Julie Johnson. So again, a lot of races here headed to runoffs. We'll see what happens. In the 34th, Vicente Gonzalez easily becomes the nominee. For the Republicans, it's Eric Flores defeating Myra Flores. Since the map was redrawn, again, Republicans hoping to capitalize on this new seat. So that's what we've got for Texas. Let's move on to North Carolina. Not much here in the U.S. Senate as expected. Roy Cooper dominating. He's going to face Republican Michael Whatley in this open seat. Cooper, popular former governor. Whatley has a little bit of work to do. The state is purple. It could go either way, but in a blue wave, Dems are feeling pretty good about this one. How about the 1st district? This map was also redrawn. This district should favor the Republicans much more than in 24. But it is going to be the same Republican nominee, Lori Buckout. She avoided the runoff by getting more than 30%. This is the northeastern part of the state, and she's going to face in a rematch Don Davis. Davis narrowly prevailed in 24, but the district did vote for Trump. Now that it's way redder, Davis is going to have an uphill climb. It's not impossible he holds on. In the 4th district, for the Dems, we've got a progressive challenger, Nita Alam, taking on Valerie Foushee. And right now, Alam trails Foushee by about 1%. But in the fall, this one is going to be safe blue. In the western part of the state, we've got incumbent Republican Chuck Edwards. He won his nomination comfortably. He's going to face Jamie Ager. Dems really hoping to capture this seat, but again, it's going to be an uphill climb. However, Dems did pull in more votes than the Republicans in this primary. Let's move on to Arkansas, the 3rd state. The U.S. Senate, it's Tom Cotton. He's the nominee again with more than 80% of the vote. He's going to face Hallie Schaffner. She also got close to 80%, but in the fall, Tom Cotton gonna be heavily favored. And there's also a governor's race here in this state. Fred Love is going to be the nominee for the Dems, and unopposed for the Republicans, he's going to face incumbent Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Big uphill climb there for Fred Love. So that's a quick recap of what happened. There's also some more down ballot stuff. We've got this race here in the state Senate in North Carolina. Phil Berger, the high-ranking state Senate Republican, is facing a challenge here from Sam Page. Page might be narrowly ahead right now, but this race is likely headed to a recount. So there's a ton more you can look at, but those are the highlights of what happened in the March 3rd primaries. So let me know in the comments, what's going on in Texas between Cornyn and Paxton? Who's going to win? How are they going to do against Tallarico? What about some of these primaries where incumbents are going down to more extreme challengers? What do you think about any of these results? Let me know down below on your way out. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Join if you'd like to support the channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.